Good afternoon. Welcome back to one more episode of AwakeNomada. Today we are in North London with Veronica Youdell. We're gonna hear from her. She's a yoga teacher, somatic aligner, and an artist, singer. Well, there is loads to talk about. So today we're gonna explore Veronica's world. Veronica, thank you for accepting my invitation. It has taken us a while to be sitting here, right? So this space is yours. I want you to share, to start first with whom you are as a person. Then we move a bit more on your artist journey, and then we can move a bit farther to when your spiritual journey started and how you mix arts and spirituality, which is a thing that I'm really keen to talk about.
Thank you so much for having me. It's a real honor to be sharing the space and sharing my journey. I'm Veronica. I run Earth Gold Holistic Alchemy, and under the umbrella I am offering yoga to people to help unleash their potential. I'm offering sound therapy, somatic alignment, which is a healing practice, a treatment to help release trauma from the body. And I'm a musician. I create, I compose, I sing, I rap, I write lyrics, and I like to bring it all together and mix it up and use it for myself and to help other people.
Amazing. This is really good. This season is about spirit and soul. So it aligns really well with what you do. We have been working together for a little while, and we have become friends more than any other thing. And I really admire this connection you seem to have with the elements, with your work. I think on the first retreat we did together was when I realized how aligned you are seeing you working. That was like a bit of a wow. So when did you start your artist journey first, and then how this evolved? What was the first thing that you did as an artist?
Well, I think as a young person, music was always a big part of my upbringing through my parents. I always had a dream as a little girl to be a pop star. That was where I was at when I was young, listening to all the like Madonna and other kind of 80s icons. I'm showing my age now. It's just always been innately within me. However, finding my voice and moving into that path took time. But let's say in my late teens, early 20s, I was really in music. And after experimenting with electronic music as an MC and as a vocalist, I started to create my own songs, work with producers. With that, it was more about discovering more of myself. I've always used my music, my lyrics as a vessel for my own therapeutic outlet. So I'm, always writing about the things that I've experienced, relationships and my own internal struggle. And as I got older, I started to experiment with electronic dance music, and I was doing a lot of freestyle, emceeing and singing in clubs. And then I started to create material and record, playing around with hip hop music and then a bit more neo-soul, music with feeling, music that I could express myself. I'm quite eclectic. I like to work with different genres. And up until the point now where I'm working with the gong, with my instruments, offering sound healing to people, but blending it with my voice, trying to rap with the gong. And I use the instruments as like a foundation to explore my musicality.
Can you share a little bit about rap yoga? For me, it was a bit of a shock, the mixture, the first time I saw you doing rap yoga. When you told me that, I was like, okay, I need to see this. I remember I was doing photography for that class, And I just found that amazed how that was born. Where this come from?
Yes. I trained as a yoga teacher, and before that time, I was already teaching rap. I was going into schools, running workshops, and I loved rap and I loved yoga. I loved the benefits that yoga had on me in my mental health and my well-being, and I wanted to find a way that I could bridge the gap and share this with young people. So initially when I was training, I was always thinking, how can I bring rap and yoga together? It was always this like, I know there's a way, but I can't quite figure it out. I wrote a rap about yoga called Om.
Okay.
So that was like my first initial introduction. We made a music video, and I had a part of the rap was about the chakras. And yeah, it was beautiful. Music just spot on, and just the whole growth of it. And it's always been something that people, when they hear it, they're like, oh wow, that just takes them into this place. And so replicating that more and more, I wanted to create a class, a yoga class. And during the pandemic, finally was like, okay, I'm not working. I've been given this gift of time to really tap into my creativity and do it. So from there, I started to basically create a class that was synced in time with the beat, and all of the instructions are like they rhyme and they're in time with the beat, and it's very me. Like I did have inspiration from people, but not really. Like I feel like this was a gift given to me by my higher self. Like, this is your journey. This is for you. Like, I just see this vision of this is yours, and we want you to embody it and use your artistry to create it. So yeah, I love to make music. I love to use my voice. I've been singing and playing around with rap for many moons. I'm quite a chameleon. Like I can blend and play around with lots of different things.
No, it's amazing. And back then, when you were just experimenting, what kind of music did you like to hear, to listen, or you got inspired of? Gosh,
well, I mean, I think my biggest musical influence was Amy Winehouse. I really loved her voice and her lyrics, and I always used my lyrics as an opportunity to express myself and use it as like a therapeutic outlet. So I liked hip hop, and I liked drum and bass was one genre that I was really into, and I still am, but like I like the space in the music and the opportunity where I can just freestyle and improvise in the moment. That's where I really feel like I have a gift, that I can just hear something and I can just tune in and create something, not necessarily words, but more sounds and rhythms. And for me, that's the magic, when you can just improvise in the moment. Like, you can do it once and you can't recreate it. If you try to recreate it, it doesn't have that substance.
The same essence, yeah.
And the essence, yeah. So that's how also when I teach yoga, it's very intuitive. I tend to teach in the moment. I tend to really feel into the energy of where we're at right now. Obviously reading the room to see who's there, but like essentially I'm always much more, I find my best teaching is when I'm not like checking my notes, what are we doing next? It's just like, let's just be in it together and let's feel into it, and it always evolves into something, and everyone's like, this was exactly what I needed, and I'm like, cool, yeah, okay.
I knew it.
Yeah.
Well, it's interesting to like the presence, no, what the presence bring. And you mentioned to me that you kind of channel as well the music, the lyrics.
Yes, exactly. So I mean, back when I was doing this at the beginning, I didn't understand what it was, but now having tapped into this whole new wave of channeling and stuff, I get that that's what I was doing, but I didn't have an awareness.
Wow. So it's been there, waiting for you to just take it and embrace it.
That's really a gift that I feel I have.
Wow.
Yeah.
Amazing. What about yoga and spirituality? First of all, like, when did you start with your yoga journey? Like, how was...
Yeah, yoga, I mean, really officially, I trained as a teacher in about 8 years ago, but I've been going to yoga classes from like when I was like 17, 18, just to help me manage myself more on a therapeutic, again, more about the breathing, more about the meditation, not really anything super challenging for the body, but it was more just space and time for me, because I think I've always been quite a sensitive soul, like dealing with anxiety and depression, and like it was, I didn't realize back then, but yeah, it was a big support system for me. And then just over the years, it's always just been something that I've been called to do. And then I went on a retreat with a friend. She invited me. I spent 10 days in Goa, and it changed my life. Like, I was in a place where I wasn't happy. I didn't really know what I was doing with my life, and I needed to find myself or some answers. And it did that and more. And after that, I knew I wanted to become a teacher, because it helped me so much. I wanted to share this with other people. And that's where the rap yoga journey began.
Wow.
Because I was doing my thing with rap, and I was teaching rap. I was facilitating workshops, going into schools. And I wanted to find a way to introduce yoga to young people, but make it interesting and make it accessible. And I was like, how can I take yoga and rap and bring it together to make it interesting and work? How? So two very different art forms. But I tapped into the divine, to my intuition, and was able to receive the downloads. And during the pandemic, I created a class that fused rap instructions, so rhythm and rhyme, and brought it together with some movement and some good music and some affirmations or rap formations.
Wow. It is so interesting how these two different things can blend together. Like, it's just what the possibilities of art, right?
This is it.
Wow.
This is it.
Amazing. And why yoga and not another thing? Like, why did you choose that?
Yeah, I think it's the essence of yoga. It's the fact that we get to tap into ourselves. And I've always been someone who is, maybe I didn't realize it, but I'm always into like healing and trying to become a better version of myself. And yoga just gives you that time and space to breathe and to feel. Like, at the end of a yoga class, you can spend up to 10 minutes in shavasana, which is lying in stillness. And for me, that's where a lot of the magic happens. It's the moment you've done the physical practice, and now you just have to lie and be with yourself. And then the stuff is going to unfold. Like, you might end up crying. You might end up having this moment of like clarity, or just like, oh, it was so nice just to be held, to be in a safe space. And I don't think that emphasis is really doesn't have a place in other, like, you might have it, some Pilates classes might offer that, but typically, I just find that there's a depth in yoga that allows us not only for our physical, but our mental and our energy and emotions and time to process stuff.
Wow. It's always been in your life as well, right? Like, you have always practiced it, and then you became a teacher.
Yeah, I think so. I think as a child, I was growing up with a family who the mother was a yoga teacher, and she as a child, she took me to the temple, the Hare Krishna temple, and I was chanting Hare Krishna from a young age, and
that was the seed.
Yeah, the seed exactly was planted, and so it just feels really, really true and authentic. Like I think it was definitely part of what I was meant to do. Like I didn't feel any resistance. I think it's right. You innately know like what you're born to do, even if it doesn't feel like real. But I was just thinking about this the other day about being a child, because when we're children, we are in our purest form, and we have these dreams and ambitions, and then society makes us feel like we can't do that. It's not possible. And for so many years I thought I couldn't do what I wanted to do, and now I'm totally doing it, and I'm going to do it more. So I think it's just dropped in, but just like go back to your inner child, go back to what they wanted to become, what was their imagination and their ambitions, and follow that.
And it's actually, you grow up and you have to work to get to the child essence again, to find answers, which is really curious, because when we are growing up, all we think of is, I want to grow up. But then growing up, you want to connect to your inner child, and that is where big magic happened. Because it's like listening to that kid that wasn't probably heard, and that has so many things to share and didn't. That's so interesting. Okay, let's talk about Gold Earth and Rap Yoga. Well, you already mentioned you did start Rap Yoga 2020.
Yes.
What is happening with that? What are you creating?
Okay, so Rap Yoga now is re-emerging. We took a little bit of time out just to do other things, but I'm in the process of creating a new class that is produced by me. So I'm making all the music, I'm creating the lyrics and the choreography, and it's going to become, I expect it to be ready later this year, but it will be a deep dive into healing and transformation, which are the things that I'm really passionate about. And it's going to go beyond what I was able to achieve in my first offering. Okay. So that's kind of like in the process. So it's always exciting when you're in your creative process and you have, but you don't know. So there's still a lot to unpack. But I'm feeling, basically in the music, I'm composing sort of hip hop beats, but much more etheric, trying to connect with the chakras, incorporate some of my sound instruments as well into the music, as well as, more affirmations, and just playing and seeing what comes.
That's really exciting.
Yeah. I'm really looking forward to creating it and then sharing it, and hoping to inspire and to help. Essentially, the class is there to help people with their confidence, to help people with their healing, to help people just with their breathing and finding their voice. It's a big one about
expressing yourself.
And that starts in your hips.
Wow.
The hips and the throat are connected, so we need to get into the hips in order to shift that and open this up.
Wow, that's amazing. I'm starting to participate in a dancing class from Afro-Colombian and indigenous music, and the first workshop I went in is called Decolonize Your Pelvis, and they help us to liberate a lot, and as well we use the voice to do noises and it feels so liberating.
Oh, wow.
I feel like it's really powerful. I think that makes a lot of sense now.
Interesting.
Wow. I mean, I know that it's connected, because here you create the world, here you create life, and it's like two things that go hand in hand. Wow, that's so good. So what about Gold Earth and what is happening?
So Earth Gold.
Earth Gold.
It's okay. It was originally going to be called Gold Earth, and then we flipped it. So Earth Gold Holistic Alchemy is my umbrella for all my offerings. So we have mostly now focusing more on retreats and events. So I offer wellness retreats that bring in yoga, sound healing, breath work. Also somatic alignment, which is a treatment that helps people release trauma and stuck energy from the body using breath work and movement and touch. A process called de-armoring, where we target different parts of the body to release tension and energy that's stuck, and then to encourage more of a free flow. As well as like vocal alchemy. I'm big in activating the throat chakra and creating more space for healing and transformation. So I create like bespoke packages for groups or one-to-one clients. I recently did a kid's birthday party. So I'm playing with different. I do corporate work, and then I do sort of just more stuff in the community. I've done a lot of work for charities in the past. So I'm always like I don't stick to one thing. I'm always like jumping from one place to another.
Experimenting, right?
Yeah, and just I know that I'm a people person, so I can work with different groups. I can adapt and support where it's needed. And then from the music front, I'm Earth Gold is the artist that I have embodied. I've gone through several shifts in my identity as a musician. And now I'm embodying Earth Gold as this high priestess, empress energy. Like the earth is my foundation. It's the root. It's from the foundation from where everything else grows. And the gold is like the creation and the energy of vibrancy and light and love, and like I look at my gong and I just go, this is like Earth Gold in its element.
Amazing. It's amazing.
So, I'm working on new music. I'm going to be releasing, and I think for me, music has taken a back seat for the last few years. I haven't really had an opportunity to do as much as I'd wanted, or maybe it just wasn't the time. So now I can really feel a big push saying it's time. So
get out there again.
Yeah. And it feels really good. It feels like, as much as I've loved being a yoga teacher, and I still will continue to teach yoga, I need to get back to music, because that is who I really am.
Wow, amazing. And the retreat side, tell us a bit about the retreat that's coming up in July.
Yeah, so we are going to Spain. We have got a lovely villa. Is it a villa? It's like a farmhouse villa. Anyway, converted farmhouse, should I say. So we're going to Andalusia. This retreat is for women only, and it's the second chapter to the first one that we did last year in Tenerife. And essentially my retreats are focusing on they're soul retreats. So it's a real deep dive into your reconnecting with yourself, with your body, with your breath, with your healing, just having the space and the time to be alone, to be around a group of women who empower you. We're going to be exploring a full moon cacao singing ceremony, and we're going to be I've got loads of different ideas, but we'll be doing daily yoga practice, journaling, meditation, pranayama, floating sound bath. Amazing. We'll be doing, exploring different workshops, breath work, yin yoga, which is always wonderful. Like just starting the day in silence, ending the day in silence. having vegan, vegetarian food. I think we're going to have a pizza night as well.
Oh my
because
God,
we've got like a pizza oven.
Really exciting.
There's going to be a lot to pack into like 5 days. But yeah, essentially going on retreat, it's transformative. Like having had the experience myself a few years ago, knowing how it helped me just to, you know, these experiences are what we really need, and to really support ourselves. Like you can go on holiday and have a good holiday and stuff, but I think if you're really tuning into your wellness, and if you're sort of maybe feeling stuck and need some time just to tune in and shift some stuff, this is the ideal experience.
Yeah, I think that what you mentioned about going on holidays sometimes is good because you unwind or whatever, but once you are on holidays and focusing on you and connected with yourself and doing the work, then is when the magic happens. Because as it happened with you, it can change totally the rhythm of your life.
Yeah.
So
and in a short space of time as well, it's amazing what you can achieve and what you can undo. Because essentially, I think the retreats are like, it's a deep dive. So you arrive and then you're kind of settling, and then you have to start to unpack some stuff that's uncomfortable, and then you kind of go through this like, maybe, oh, this is uncomfortable and I have to deal with some stuff. But then once that comes out, then you're lighter, and then you're like elevating, and you're kind of like, oh my God, I'm just like this, you know. Essentially there is that transformation that happens, that sort of rebirth where you arrive one way and you leave another way.
They are powerful. Like I was talking to you earlier about how this became an industry where people monetize and stuff, but once you meet the person whom you feel comfortable with and you can share, and this person make a safe space and you can open up, then is when the magic happens. And I think that there is loads out there, but having a specific place for women where women shared and empower each other is really important. While you were working, I wasn't expecting anything. I didn't know really what to expect, but when I saw that, I think that is something that I really like to stress. Is really important to see a woman empowering other women, holding the space for other women, and knowing that everything that you teach is your own practice. This is what makes authentic the spiritual practice, when it becomes from you to others, not to others, and that's it. So I really appreciate that, and I'm really happy to be part of the second retreat as well. The first one was impactful, and it gave me a lot of encouragement to keep learning and to keep in my journey and being able to share what I already have, which I'm getting more ready and more ready.
It's been a real honor and pleasure to work with you, and like I say, just being around the women that support us to grow. Like I think you then wonder, what have I been doing for so long, when you realize that actually there is the possibility of being around women that want to support you and want to see you grow, and not want to make you feel bad for shining.
Totally agree with that.
And it feels great. You know, it was a team of 3 now with Kelly as well, and we you know, we're family. We will become sisters. I think this is the energy that we and the support, and we're all very much different, but so the same, experiencing similar struggles. I can just it is really powerful. So we are getting to the end of this interview. Thank you very much for your patience, for telling yes, for allowing me to come to your space. This is really vulnerable, and I feel honored to be here in your space. I like to finish the podcast with you sending a message. But what would you tell to your younger self, or someone that is starting, whomever is starting this journey? We know how lonely this can be, how hard this can be sometimes. First and foremost is doing the things that make you happy. Like it's possible to live a life full of joy, full of light, full of love. But it's understanding what lights you up and what brings you joy. So Getting familiar with what feels good in your body is really important. So if you can find a yoga practice or something that feels good for you to do, so that you can spend time every day or nearly every day in your body. Like I find I do like a morning ritual of like 20 minutes getting into my body, and then 20 minutes of meditation, and maybe 20 minutes of reading or journaling. Just time with yourself, getting rid of all the noise and the distractions. And then slowly, the more you get to know yourself and what feels good for you, not for other people, the more you will start to step into alignment with your path and your purpose. And then, you know, you can think about what you're feeding yourself, what you're putting into your body. Are you drinking enough water? What are you listening to? What are you exposing yourself? Who are your friends? You know, who are your friends? Who are you elevating, or are you feeling compressed and stuff? And just trusting yourself. Like we were talking about intuition, maybe that's not initially with you right now, but the more you can spend time with yourself. Like one of the things I find is water really helps me to tap into my intuition. So like when I'm having a shower or having a bath or something, water helps move things. So make sure you're drinking plenty of water, but also, immersing yourself in water, grounding yourself in the earth, even just walking around bare feet, let your feet breathe. And come on a retreat, come to one of my events, come and spend some time with me, and we'll get there. Okay.